What if I told you the spicy tteokbokki you love was invented by a forgotten hero whose name you'll never find in any history book? This isn't just a story about food, it's a tale of rebellion, creativity, and a secret that changed Korean cuisine forever. Long before tteokbokki became the iconic fiery red street food we all crave, it existed in a completely different form. Deep within the palaces of the Joseon Dynasty, it was known as gungjung tteokbokki, a savoury, soy sauce-based dish reserved only for the royal family and high-ranking nobles. It was elegant, mild, and a symbol of prestige. The royal kitchen, where this dish was born, was a place of immense pressure, governed by strict rules and centuries-old traditions. Innovation was not just discouraged, it was often seen as a dangerous violation of culinary law. Among the countless staff who worked tirelessly in this high-stakes environment was a young kitchen maid. We'll call her Soo-hwa. While her official role was to follow orders without question, Soo-hwa was known for her boundless curiosity and a creative spirit that couldn't be contained. These were traits that made her stand out, but not always in a good way. In a world that demanded conformity, her imagination was both a gift and a liability. Our story truly begins one evening, amidst the chaos of preparing for a grand royal banquet. The kitchens were buzzing with activity, chefs barking orders, and the air thick with the smells of simmering broths and sizzling meats. After the main preparations were done, Soo-hwa noticed a pile of leftover rice cakes, or tteok. They were starting to harden and palace rules were clear. Nothing could be wasted. This was a common problem, and the usual solution was to simply re-steam them or use them in a simple broth. But Soo-hwa saw an opportunity. Driven by her resourceful nature, she decided to try something different. She stir-fried the rice cakes with some leftover vegetables and the standard soy sauce dressing. She tasted her creation. It was good. It had salvaged the rice cakes, and it was certainly edible. But it wasn't special. It lacked a spark, a soul. It was just another variation of a familiar flavour profile. Disappointed but undeterred, she set the dish aside, her mind still racing with possibilities. Little did she know, a culinary revolution was quietly arriving in Korea. A new, mysterious ingredient had begun to appear in the markets, brought to Joseon after a long journey across the sea and through China. This ingredient was gochugaru, chili pepper flakes. These vibrant red flakes carried an intense, fiery heat and a smoky aroma that was completely foreign to the Joseon palate. Most palace chefs were wary of it. It was too bold, too aggressive. They didn't dare introduce such a radical flavour into the delicate and balanced world of royal cuisine. But Soo-hwa was different. She wasn't bound by the same fears as the master chefs. She was fascinated by this new spice. The smell alone was intoxicating, promising a world of flavour she had never experienced. While others saw a risky novelty, she saw a key that could unlock something extraordinary. So, in the quiet moments when no one was watching, she began to experiment. She would sneak small amounts of the chili flakes and the newly developed chili paste, gochujang, and play with different combinations, driven by pure curiosity. One night, fueled by her desire to elevate the simple dish of leftover rice cakes, she made a bold decision. Taking a deep breath, she added a generous spoonful of gochujang and a sprinkle of gochugaru to the soy-based sauce she had prepared earlier. The moment the chili hit the hot pan, the air in her small corner of the kitchen transformed. A powerful new scent filled the space. It was spicy, sweet, and smoky all at once. It was a fragrance that was completely unfamiliar, yet deeply compelling. Her heart pounded in her chest. This was a clear violation of tradition. With trembling hands, she took a bite. An explosion of flavour erupted in her mouth. The fiery heat of the chili was perfectly balanced by the sweetness of the sauce, and the chewy rice cakes absorbed it all. It was comforting and electrifying at the same time. It was unlike anything she had ever tasted, or anything that had ever been served within the palace walls. She knew she had created something truly special, but she also knew it was dangerous. Fearing punishment for breaking the sacred culinary rules, Soo-hwa kept her creation a secret. She would only make it for herself late at night, a private little rebellion in a bowl. But some secrets are too delicious to stay hidden, and fate, it seems, has a taste for spice. One evening, the Crown Prince, weary from his studies and tired of the predictable, refined flavours of the royal dining table, decided to take an impromptu stroll through the palace grounds. He was known for his inquisitive nature and often sought refuge from the rigid formalities of court life. Drawn by an unusual, tantalising aroma wafting from the direction of the kitchens, his curiosity was piqued. He followed the scent, which grew stronger and more irresistible with every step, leading him directly to the corner where Soo-hwa was enjoying her secret meal. When the prince walked in, Soo-hwa froze in panic. To be caught not only eating in the main kitchen, but eating a dish of her own invention was an offence that could lead to severe punishment, even dismissal from the palace. She tried to hide the bowl, but it was too late. The prince's eyes were fixed on the vibrant red dish, and the spicy, sweet smell was undeniable. He didn't look angry. He looked intrigued. "What is that?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. "I have never smelled anything like it." With no other choice, Soo-hwa bowed deeply and offered her creation to the future king. She watched, holding her breath, as he took a bite. His eyes widened in surprise. A moment of silence passed that felt like an eternity. Then a smile spread across his face. He took another bite, and then another. He loved it. He declared that the dish woke up the soul, a powerful compliment for a flavour so new and audacious. He requested it again for the following day, not as a secret snack, but as part of his official meal. Soo-hwa's secret was out, but instead of punishment she received the highest praise. The news of the prince's new favourite dish spread like wildfire through the palace. At first, it was just the other kitchen staff who dared to try it. Then, whispers of the spicy rice cakes reached the court ladies, who then shared it with the nobles they served. Slowly but surely, what started as a maid's quiet experiment began to win over the hearts and palates of the entire royal court. Over generations, the story and the recipe trickled out from behind the palace walls. As Korea modernised, the dish found its way onto the streets, where vendors adapted the recipe, making it faster, easier, and accessible to everyone. The once royal secret transformed into the democratic, beloved street food that defines so much of Korean culture today. But here's the most poignant part of the story. History never recorded Soo-hwa's name. There are no official documents, no royal decrees that mention the young kitchen maid who dared to introduce chili peppers to rice cakes. Her identity is lost to time, overshadowed by the kings and generals who fill our history books. Yet, her legacy lives on, not in text, but in taste. Through oral stories passed down from generation to generation, from former palace workers to their families, the legend of a curious girl who broke the rules for the sake of flavour has survived. She is the ghost creator, the anonymous genius behind one of the world's most famous Korean dishes. Think about that for a moment. Without her courage, without her willingness to challenge centuries of tradition, the world might never have tasted the fiery, comforting, and utterly addictive Tteokbokki we enjoy today. Every time you take a warm, spicy bite from a street food stall in Seoul, or from a pot you've made in your own kitchen, you are tasting the legacy of her quiet rebellion. This is the hidden history, the story not written in textbooks, but told in every single bowl of Tteokbokki. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most significant changes come from the most unexpected places, and from people whose names we may never know. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into Korea's hidden culinary past. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales you were never taught in school. See you in the next video.